Hey everybody, Josh Runquist here for another thrilling edition of Out Today and What I Missed for June 14th, 2024. We got 11 new albums, 5 out today, 6 I missed along the way. Let's get into it. First up, we have Dendra with Mask of Lies. This is the third album and the first one back in nearly a decade from this UK band that really combines a lot of great genres together of heavy metal and progressive metal, power metal, and even some metalcore moments. Even the last singer of Power Quest is a part of this band if you've never checked them out before. But it has a lot of familiarity if you're familiar with stuff of the 21st century style, progressive metal, power metal, metalcore, that kind of stuff. But they also venture into their own style of doing things as well, which really makes it feel very authentic. And if you're looking for something that combines all these styles, that gets just heavy enough but is very familiar for the progressive power metal fan in you, check this one out. Next up, we have Malignancy with Discontinued, and this is one of the most brutal albums of 2024 from one of the most brutal tech bands in all of the world. The fifth album from this band, straight out of New York, is exactly what you expect from the band, but given the time that's come after the pandemic, this is a nice welcoming change to hear something just so relentless and sounds like the state of the world that we're currently living in. For some people, that's not for you, but if you enjoy brutal tech death, Malignancy has put out one of the best brutal albums of 2024, and if you've never checked them out before, you might also see where the genre came from with a band like Malignancy. Just might be up your alley. Next, we have Paradise in Flames with Blindness, and this is a Brazilian band that combines the best of symphonic black metal and groove metal combined together, kind of feeling like an unholy mix of Cradle of Filth and mid-90s era Sepultura. It sounds very strange on paper, and even when you listen to it for the first time, it might make you turn your head and try to conceive what's going on, but the more that you listen to it, the more that it starts to make sense. You can combine very orchestrated symphonic black metal and have it groove at the same time. Sounds so strange, but seriously, give this one a shot if this sounds intriguing to you whatsoever. Next up is Perchta with their sophomore album, De Muata. This is an Austrian black and folk metal band that I just discovered, but I'm really enjoying what they're doing here. And having checked out both albums, I feel like the brand new album is a step in the right direction. The production is even stronger, the songwriting is catchier, and filled with the right amount of whimsy. It feels evil in just the right spots, folkish in the right spots. It just hits all those levels. And if you enjoy some black and folk metal, we haven't really gotten a lot of that in 2024, and I feel like this really picks up the slack for a lot of bands in this genre. And if it's intriguing to you at all, seriously, give this one a shot. And finally, for brand new stuff out today, is the sophomore album from the Greek progressive power metal band Sunburst with Manifesto. Their debut album came out in 2016, and 8 years later, they've finally come back, and they've easily put out the best album that they've done so far. The songs are catchier, they're more bombastic, the production's stronger, the songwriting's tighter. It's got everything that I'm looking for in this style, and it has a great cinematic soundtrack feel between all of it. If you like the likes of Camelot and Nevermore, Symphony X, and Fate's Warning, you're gonna find something to really appreciate about Sunburst. It's some of the catchiest progressive power metal you're gonna hear in 2024, and it's easily gonna be one of my favorite albums of 2024 as well come the end of the year, just you watch. And now for some albums that I've missed along the way, starting off with the debut album from Born of Ash with From the Dark, They Came. This is a debut album from Phoenix, Arizona, really combining the elements of melodeath, doom metal, and atmospheric death metal, which doesn't really happen that much in 2024, and hopefully with bands like this, that starts to happen more. It combines a lot of elements of bands I love like Kardashev, Wolfheart, and Omnium Gatherum, all mixed together, make it a little more Americanized, and it really just hits this great feeling of the dark, depressing metal that I love so very much, but had so much emotion and natural elements to it all. And if this sounds like this could be for you, I promise you, it is. This is a fantastic debut album. Next up is Dark Affliction with the debut LP, The 5 Stages of Grief. This is a one-man band from Greece that really combines the most dark, evil, depressing feelings of black metal and made a thematic album about, wouldn't you guess it, the 5 stages of grief, which he lists as grief, grief, denial, hate, or as I know it, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Yeah, this is everything that I'm looking for in this style with a nice little intro to start all of it off. It really combines the sadness and feelings that you have between all 5 stages of grief, and it's great black metal on top of it. It's a little raw, but it really fits so nicely. And if you're looking for some black metal that really has some good feelings behind it, give this one a shot. Next up, we have the Wisconsin band Death Wish with the Fourth Horseman. And of course, the Fourth Horseman is death. But this punk metal band really combines everything that I do love about the two genres of combining punk, metal, and some thrash thrown in, mixed together to just make for a great half hour of power. All killer, no filler. Whether it's all guns blazing or some mid-tempo stompers, every song feels like you're going to be in the middle of the pit on here. And wouldn't you know it, as of recording this, they're currently on tour right now with DRI. So don't miss out on these guys if it sounds like it could be something up your alley. I know I'm going to be marking out for this album for the rest of the year. Next up is another debut album from another one-man band known as Grain of Pain with The Moon Lights the Way. This is some Finnish melodic gothic metal mixed in with doom metal, and it has some of Finland's finest doom musicians to be able to perform on this album, with such examples as Juuso of Swallow the Sun playing drums and Lars, formerly of Before the Dawn, playing bass and clean vocals, and of course some more in the cast along the way. This album is everything that I'm looking for in melodic gothic metal, and mixed in with that great melodic doom metal and a little bit of melodeath in there for good measure. Fantastic production and songwriting. This might be a sleeper album of 2024, but if you give this album a chance, it might end up being one of your favorite albums of 2024 in the genres. Give it a shot. Next up, we have another Finnish band here with the band Numento with the Antimatter Fantasy. This is the third album from this Finnish band that really invokes the genre of extreme progressive metal. They have some really catchy riffs on here, especially in the choruses, but they also know how to really get relentless on their extreme and proggy sides as well. It's a nice balance of everything and some nice genre bending to go along with all of it. If you're a fan of the likes of bands like Wintersea and Oceans of Slumber, or even Lokvastok, I think you'll find something to really appreciate about their style of extreme progressive metal, and this band has only gotten better with every subsequent album. Check this out right now and see exactly what I'm talking about. And finally, we end things with another one-man band known as Shivered with Existential Mourning. This is the sophomore album from this one-man band from Iran that proves that good music comes from anywhere around the world, and he really knocks it out of the park when it comes to the style of gothic doom metal. And if you're not familiar with that, think of early to mid-era Catatonia, and this fits in perfectly. While a majority of the album is clean vocals, there are some growls that go in here occasionally, but not as often as you might think. But if you're looking for something that's really dark, somber, and really feels like a great state of the world right now in 2024, especially post-pandemic, Existential Mourning pretty much nails it, and this is a fantastic album in the Shivered catalog. And there you go, folks, 11 brand new albums, 5 out today, 6 I missed along the way, 4 out today and what I missed for June 14th, 2024. What'd you think? Was there some good albums here, some bad albums? Did I miss out on something? Do I just have a horrible taste in music? Let me know all of that and more in the comments down below. And of course, do all the normal standard YouTube jargon of like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. And return next week as I cover the week of June 21st, 2024. But until then, for the Heavy Debriefings YouTube channel, this is Josh Ronquist saying, embrace the skullet.